Then the only person that depends on me is who? My dog. What? Then I insure myself. Then when I die, what? Give the dog. The dog take the money for what? Right? So
I think she should be caring for herself first.
Right.
Before buying insurance for the dog.
Right.
Right.
Because the dog is not going to pay her medical bills.
Exactly right.
My girlfriend has a feisty dog, and that dog bites people. One day, while staying over at her place, in the middle of the night, the dog bites her ankle, and she got quite severely injured. I have to pay for her hospitalization bill because she told me that she's cash tight and she got no insurance coverage for hospitalization. A few days later, the dog started throwing up. Then she instructed me, hey, bring the dog, go and see the vet. Don't worry about the cost because the dog got insurance. My girlfriend, red flag or green flag? Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Yes, let's go. We go again. That's why we need subject matter experts here in the studio. So we got Ching out and Kenric on red flag, and me, myself, Lonely again on green flag. So we got out like, Ching out, why is it a red flag?
Well, I think first of all, someone should insure themselves first. But I have children, so I will insure myself first so that my children can benefit. Then after that, I insure the children against certain things, right? Because I can still afford to pay, for example, for medication, for hospital and all that for my children. So they will be next after I'm being insured. So in this case, I guess the girlfriend has a dog. The dog will be very close to her, like a family member. So that's why she buys insurance for a dog. But I think she should be caring for herself first before buying insurance for the dog, right?
Yeah, because the dog is not going to pay her medical bills.
Exactly right. Exactly right.
I mean, if the dog will pay, then fair enough lah.
I know who's the dog in this case, the boyfriend.
Okay. Yes, higher order logic says that correct. You insure whoever is the breadwinner. But if you think about it, right, current day like youth, let's say you 21 years old, right? Let's say your parents they take out lah, they don't cover you. You technically don't have dependents, because their own coverage will cover them. Then the only person that depends on me is who? My dog, what? Right? Then calling, what? Then I insure myself. Then when I die, what? Give the dog. The dog take the money for what? Right? So now the problem is the dog's the burden. So I need to insure that. Let's say go hospitalization, the bill come out extra. Then I got the money to pay, Wait, how is this thought logic wrong? Wait, I don't understand.
Okay, maybe it's not so applicable for the girlfriend to have, let's say, death coverage, but it's very important to get things like critical illness and hospitalization, because at the end of the day, these medical bills is being bared by your boyfriend or your family member. So in a way, you are the liability.
So if let's say my parents are still functional and they still love me, technically, do I need to cover myself immediately? Because technically, they can still afford it. If let's say my first act of independent financial will is to insure my dog, is that a bad decision?
I mean, your parents will take care of you. You are just shifting your own burden to your parents. So let's assume the parents are very willing to take out the burden. So now you turn your attention to the dog. Then I think the dog can be taken care of by getting pet insurance and all that, so that the dog don't become a burden to you. Effectively, you are just shifting the burden back to the insurer. Hopefully, when things happen, the dog gets taken care of. It doesn't cause a drain on your finances. So somebody has to bear that burden. So in this case, I think the order should be, the girlfriend gets herself adequately covered. At least in terms of health insurance, right? Then after that, you take care of the next thing in life.
No, because logically, right, when we were having this conversation with this specific friend, right, he was like, hey, the dog insurance that expensive, yeah. It's even more expensive than the human insurance. Then I was like, how then logically I should just get the human insurance first, because I'll get a cheaper thing. Then when I have higher income, I get a dog. The girlfriend's response still cannot be, what happens when I become depressed because my dog died? What insurance cover mental illness? I cannot checkmate, no. That day I just sit down there, you win already. Because at the end of the day, the insurance is like what you say, prevent the burden. The only way for me to prevent this burden, if let's say her support animal is sick, causing her stress, right? Then this stress, I cannot fix it with my insurance system. So now I go to the next order of things that can be fixed, which is, if the dog die, I set. How about the dog don't die lah? Then I'm not set already So that's another way for me to cover herself. I'm still thinking about me. The dog is to support me. 妈的，那个 dog 死，我也是跟着死。
Yeah, you just buy a new dog, then you just forget about the first dog.
I don't think that's how it works.
I know, change boyfriend.
let's treat the dog as a collectible. But now this collectible a little bit different. Got a little bit like your children like that, the vibes. Me knowing that this is a crucial part of my identity and my life, I insure this thing. Technically, by extension, I'm insuring me. You very good insurance, the dog got no insurance. Or the dog gets insurance, but your insurance is like bare minimal. Which is the wiser choice?
Well, I think when you talk about insurance, about pets, right? I think that there are no insurance against the pet's demise, right?
Yes.
So we are just taking care of the healthcare aspect. For me, I still believe that the first order of things would be to take care of yourself before the pet. Why? Because let's say you get an accident, you can't work for 6 months, then how you pay the pet's premium?
Or even food. Don't say insurance.
You don't have food, your
Yeah.
your kibble, your pet food is expensive, man.
Your
那两个
pedigree.
一起 suffer.
两个一起suffer.
In no way, shape or form would anything take precedence over self-preservation in terms of insurance. That should always be the first thing that you cover. Now that I'm in a situation where there are 3 generations in the house, nobody is insured. I got my first paycheck and I would like to start insuring my family, essentially my parents or my children. Who should I insure first? The one with the most income?
I reference it to the safety message on the aircraft. Please wear your life jacket first before you start helping others.
Is it because I have a longer runway and therefore my premium is cheaper that I should insure myself? Is that how that works? What's the thought process here?
First of all, whether the parents are insurable is one thing because they might be above of a certain age. Then after you look at yourself, if you are the sole breadwinner or one of the breadwinners, then you'll be logical to cover yourself first because if you lose that income, then what happens to the rest of the family?
If let's say we are sorting by income, always protect the biggest earner because that income will significantly make everybody's life worse. But if we were to sort by premiums, I should technically insure my kids first because the old one confirm I cannot pay for it. It doesn't make any sense to insure myself. So if my parents earn more and I'm not the lead breadwinner, is it still to protect myself first?
I feel if you talk about affordability, the best thing to do is at least get the most basic coverage, and then as your income gets higher, then you get a better coverage lah. Because at the end of the day, I think paying let's say 40% of the bill is always better than paying 80% of the bill.
I mean, dying is cheap. You die, you buy a coffin, and that's the end of you, right? When you get sick, real sick, you get certain diseases, it's very, very expensive to treat in Singapore, right? So at least I think minimally, if you're on a shoestring budget, you get yourself covered with health. So at least, you can stay your A-class ward, swipe Instagram while you're having your colonoscopy or whatever, right? So
Because you can never predict how much a hospital bill is going to cost. You can cost, a few $100,000, and at the end of the day, this financial burden is being passed on to your family, your parents, so to speak. They might have to wipe out their whole life savings just to,
So it's better to wipe your saving than wipe their savings. Now my world state has changed. Because previously, as you can tell, I'm always on the wrong side of this subject matter conversation, and I've been changed. Now I'm going to be like, that's bad. Okay. So with that, I'd like to thank all of you for watching. I'd like to thank our guests, our subject matter experts here in the studio, Cheng Hao and Kenric, for their expert opinions. This is the end of this episode of Red Flag, Green Flag, Insurance and Trust. Until next time, we'll see you. Bye-bye.